Assalamu alaikum. This is Megan Wyatt answering your question here at About Islam. So there's a number of things that you've raised in your question, but I kind of want to focus on the most important part of what you're asking. So kind of putting aside some of the issues, like the fact that you named your son and your husband doesn't like the name. Things like you're asking, should you get pregnant again, or afraid to get pregnant again because you're sitting, in this situation right now trying to decide, should you separate, should you stay, can you make it work? The most important element that I want to focus on is the element of respect. A lot of times when people ask questions, they're asking about their rights, they're asking about, what their husband should do, or they're trying to talk to their husband about the fact, or their wife, if it's a man writing in, about the fact that you're not honoring, the rights that I'm supposed to be given, or you're not doing things according to, what our culture says, or arguments like this. And of course, the rights in Islam are there as a guideline, and of course, they're also a requirement to fulfill. And then also culture has guidelines and requirements that we are asked to fulfill. And of course, some of those are acceptable, and of course, some of those may not fall in line with Islam. But the overall point that I want to make is what's most important is asking the question, does your husband respect you? So even without having to hold over him the fact that according to Islam, there are certain things he's supposed to provide you, as you're trying to ask him, the fact that he doesn't want to send you money because, he thinks you already have enough money because you're collecting money from the government is not so much a question of, him not honoring your rights as much as is him not honoring you as a human being. The entire reason that a man works and the entire reason that a man earns money when he's married is to take care of his family. It's to, use that wealth, which doesn't come from him and it doesn't come from his employer. That wealth comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That provision, you and your child have 100% full rights to. And anyone else that he's able to assist and he's able to help, or he's, in some kind of an agreement where, someone relies on him, that he's going to help. The reason he has money is to spend on you, is to spend on your son. So of course, it's ridiculous to hear that a man is saying, no, I'm not sending you any money for my son or for you guys to get on a bus or a train or to buy milk or to buy food because you have enough. He unfortunately has not only missed the purpose and the point as to why he has money, but he also is showing that he's not respecting you as a human being. And I think that's really the crux of the situation. You could sit with an imam, or you could sit with a scholar, you could sit with a sheikha, you could sit with individuals, you could sit with family, and they're going to tell him, these are the rules, these are the things you're supposed to do, these are the things that you're supposed to fulfill. But if he doesn't respect you as an individual, it doesn't matter who he sits across from, or what book he reads, or what lecture he watches, he's not going to have the desire to fulfill those requirements for the long term because he doesn't respect you as a person. He's not respecting your physical needs. He's not respecting your emotional needs. And he certainly isn't looking after your spiritual needs. And that is his obligation as a man. You guys had a big fight, before you gave birth. You were already pregnant. And of course you wanted to leave. And he told your dad, okay, she can only take her clothes. She can't take the baby stuff. If we just looked at that single example, it would be really tough to kind of know what's going on, because you could think, oh, he's just hurt, and the items that belong, that are for your son, like a crib and things like this, these could be items that he wants to hold on to because that part makes him happy, because that part reminds him of love, because that part gives him, hope for his future. There's an attachment for him. So you go, but basically the son, the child stays. You could look at it like this metaphorically. I don't know, of course, what that really means to him. But just if that was the only thing you emailed in about, it'd be really tough to kind of understand what's going on. But with this long distance relationship and him refusing to assist you, or even saying, I'm so sorry, I don't have anything to give you. I wish that I did. I wish that I had more. I'm doing my best. How are you doing over there? Having again a dialogue about respect. That's what I'm looking for. At the end of the day, it's not even about the amount of money that's going back and forth between the two of you. It's about the desire to give you the best, the desire to provide the best for his son. It's really sad when men punish their own children through the mother of their children. So even if a man and a wife, a husband and wife separate, right? It's very sad to see that a man would like to leave the mother of his children in such poor and dire circumstances because he's inevitably punishing his child for the fact that a husband and a wife, a mother and father together, they didn't work out. So you have every right, yes, Islamically, for him to send money and to provide for you if he is able to. You know, you're in a situation where you're trying to find the job, where you're raising the child, where you're staying with your parents. What is he contributing to the relationship? If he can't contribute financially, is he contributing emotionally? Is he contributing spiritually? You know, what is he bringing into your life? And that's I think that's kind of where I want you to boil it down to. Do you see this person as having the willingness and capability to respect you for the rest of your life? Right? Imagine that, I don't know how old you are, so I'm going to pretend for a moment that you're 30, okay? And you're going to live till you're 80. So from 30 to 80, let's say you're married to this individual. Do you see this as a person who cares about your feelings, honors your needs, is going to step up, who wants to take care of you, even if by the will of Allah, things are so hard financially, but He will do everything in His power to take care of you and to honor you and to appreciate the fact that you are staying with your parents and to thank your parents and to be making dua for them. The fact that you're looking for work and to make dua for you and to thank you for those things while He keeps trying to do more. Do you see Him as this person? If the answer is most definitely yes, then you have something to work with. If the answer is most definitely no, then you've got a situation where you have to ask, is this the life that you want for yourself, and is this the life you want for your son? And if the answer is no, then you're in the place right now is, will your husband change? Is there a potential for him to change? Is he interested in developing in this marriage? Is he interested in stepping up to take care of his children? So again, my response is based on how I have read your question. So that's why it's always important to have, the two sides to the situation. My understanding from this question is someone who is angrily responding to you and completely in denying you any support and basically holding you responsible for the situation that you're in over there while you're doing your best. I see someone who's not offering you emotional support, who's not offering you tenderness, who's not offering you care, who's not offering basically all the things that a husband is supposed to offer. If I have missed parts of the relationship, if there are other areas where he's showing up big time, where he is really, really showing up and taking care of you, whether that's in an emotional way, in a spiritual way, and there's kindness, and there's gentleness, and there's respect, and that part got eliminated from the question, that would change the response. So just asking you, is there any other pieces that we're missing that aren't exceptions, rather they're a constant experience that you've had? And if that's the case, then I might say, the money situation is causing the stress. The fact that, you guys can't be together because of the financial strain. But because you mentioned this big fight before you gave birth, and we didn't say exactly what the fight was about, I'm really left wondering, is this a person who respects you? So think about that and go with whatever your first gut level response is. If it's yes, then you have something to work with. And I would advise you to work with a counselor, to work with a relationship coach, to work with somebody that can help you in developing that relationship. If the answer is no, then I still advise that you work with someone, but basically figure out, if you don't think you're ever going to be respected, how can you amicably leave this relationship so that you can live your life with someone who is going to honor you and take care of you, because that is a right that you have as a Muslim woman in your marriage. So please write back. Let us know if you have any other questions, and let us know what you think. And take care. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you to what's best. Assalamu alaikum.